And welcome to Missouri Golf Live, the first edition. What a show we've got for you tonight. We're going to cover all the bases of what's going on in St. Louis golf. We're going to hit all the different facets of some of the tournaments coming up and just have some fun tonight. Jay Randolph Jr., along with Randy Minshew from Golf Around STL and Missouri Golf Live and Missouri Golf Network. Let's get everybody introduced to you, and then we'll start getting into the show. We're going to talk Curtis Cup with one of the finest young players in America on the ladies' side. She's going to be turning pro coming up in a couple of weeks, but she's also going to be in St. Louis for the Curtis Cup. Say hello to Clemson's Ashlyn Ramsey. How are you, Ashlyn?
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, and thank you for doing it. Also at St. Louis Country Club, the site of this year's Curtis Cup, is our Curtis Cup captain, Ellen Port, and also Skip Berkmeyer, one of the top amateurs in the state of Missouri. How are you two doing out there at STLCC?
We're doing great, Jay. Just me and Ellen hanging out, trying to figure all this out, but enjoying ourselves and looking forward to talking a little golf.
Absolutely. We'll get to them in just a second. Also with us, we're going to focus in on junior golf tonight. The American Junior Golf Association will have their first ever event in St. Louis, and I'm sure Ashlyn has played in a ton of AJGA events, but a young man who just won a satellite AJGA event at Cocopelli in Illinois is Crimson Callahan from Chaminade High School in St. Louis. How are you, Crimson?
Missouri. Good. How are you guys?
Doing out there? We're great. We're looking forward to a fun night, and the host professional of this year's AJGA tournament is Ty Zimmerman, the head golf professional at the Missouri Bluffs. A big time for them as they're going to host the event. Ty, how are you?
I'm doing well, Junior. Thanks for having me on today.
Outstanding. So let's get right to the heart of it with the Curtis Cup, the United States Women's Curtis Cup against Great Britain and Ireland. It's similar to the Ryder Cup, similar to the Walker Cup, but it's some of the best ladies in the world teeing it up in St. Louis at St. Louis Country Club. And I can only imagine how special it is for this grand player and the first lady of St. Louis golf, Ellen Port, to be the captain of a Curtis Cup team. But Ellen, to get to do it in your hometown, what is that like?
Well, it is. It's unique. We were talking about that at a meeting this morning, how special it is not only to be in your hometown and have the support there, but also to be alongside of a Jim Holcreeve, who's from St. Louis, who played Walker Cup, and our president of the USGA, Tom O'Toole, the St. Louis connection. This is a great sports town, and I'm just thrilled to bring the United States Curtis Cup team and the GB&I team to St. Louis.
Skip, I'll let you get Ellen started and bring Ashlyn in. It's going to be a great week at St. Louis Country Club.
Well, no question, Jay, and we've known Ellen for a long, long time, and I would just really like to talk about why don't you talk a little bit about St. Louis Country Club and the members here and the facility that we have here. I'm going to get your thoughts, Ellen, first, and then I'll turn it over to Ashlyn with the same question, who's been here already from a practice perspective. So, Ellen, why don't you talk about that?
Well, it's a little bit different from when Ashlyn was here in April. We came off a really hard winter, and I think we all wondered if we'd ever see green again, but we have. Things are in full bloom here. The greens are rolling fantastic. The course is in excellent condition. I've been out on it, and from that perspective, we had a youth promotion day for the Curtis Cup, and we had 150 young players out on the range, aspiring to do what Ashlyn has done and the rest of her teammates. So the club's ready for us, and I've been waiting since February 2013, and Ashlyn's been working hard for this day too, and it's finally arrived for us, and we're very, very excited. I'm very excited too. Thank you.
Ashlyn, your thoughts on St. Louis Country Club and this grand old place?
Yeah, we played a practice session there, and everything was just awesome. The facilities were amazing, and the hospitality there in St. Louis, you can't get anywhere else. So, the girls and I are really excited to play the course, and it's definitely a challenging course, but, I think all of our games are ready for it, and I think we're going to work well together as a team to come out on top.
Well, I think that's the most important thing. I'm going to ask Ellen this question, maybe you, Ashlyn, as well. You can chime in, please. On paper, and we don't play golf on paper, I understand, the GB&I team, if you look at their average world golf ranking, is slightly higher than the United States world golf amateur ranking. Your thoughts, Ellen, on, I know you're trying to corner yourself as the underdog, but I would say as the favorite and in the hometown here.
Well, my team hasn't heard a whole lot. I've tried to lay low on my thoughts on this, but Ashley, you guys are going to get a dose of Captain Port here. But I think my team, and what I hope for my team, is that we aren't going to compare ourselves to them. If we play, all that we can be to be successful is to prepare the best that we can. And I think if we play the best that we can be, we are going to be very competitive, and we're going to walk away from here feeling very successful. So, you know, we're going to be ready, and it doesn't matter who we're playing. We're going to play golf course, and we're going to play, as you guys know, this game is a game against ourselves, mentally, physically. It's challenging. Yes, you have someone you're going up against, but I think I've got 8 winners that know how to compete, and the will to win. You know, I heard a comment once about the will to win will overcome any mechanical fault, and I think we've got girls that have the will to win.
Ashlyn, your thoughts on taking on Great Britain and Ireland, your last amateur event?
She froze.
She frozen. Well, we can move on. That's easy enough. That's why it's live TV. We can go into. Is she there?
And Skip, I got a perfect question for you while we wait for Ashlyn to return. This comes from Twitter, courtesy of Julie Williams, and she is curious. A question for Ellen: is her team, is the U.S. side, better in foursome, 4-ball, or single? Do you have any thought on that, Ellen, to answer Julie's question from Twitter?
You know, it's a good question, but I think golf is golf. I think if we take one shot at a time. And so that's a really hard one. I think we're going to aspire to be good in all 3. We're going to be just good enough, you know, to come out on top. But, you know, their golf games are solid, and I think it's just about making some putts. I think we have excellent putters on our team, excellent short game players, and it's going to really be vital at a course like St. Louis. So I think we're really equipped to excel in all 3 formats. This team is so compatible. As Ashlyn knows, we played a lot of 9-hole matches with various partners. And I'm telling you, I don't want to sit anybody out. I've already decided I want to change the rules and play all 8 of my players. They're awesome. They love playing with each other. The USGA is about ready to fire me anyway with all of my crazy ideas. But when you see these girls playing, it's awesome, and we're ready.
Ashlyn, you want to comment on that, and also your GB&I counterparts before you froze up there? Feel free to join in the conversation.
Yeah, I think the USGA and Captain Port have done a great job of, you know, putting this team together, and I think that, you know, all of our college experiences and experiences in the past will help us build on this, as well as hearing Captain Port's experiences and just getting to learn from her. So I think, you know, coming together as a team, we're looking pretty good.
Well, I got one last question for you both, and I'll start with Ashlyn first because it would be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity. I understand that the Curtis Cup is going to be your last amateur event. And I know Captain Port here wants you focused 100% on that. But for a second, let's go into the future. What does your future look like after this event and turning professional?
Well, I plan to play a couple Symetra events and LPGA events, just depending on what sponsor exemptions I'm able to get. I also have a U.S. Open qualifier next Thursday, so kind of getting ready for that. Hopefully, I'll be playing the U.S. Open. But you know, just getting ready for Q school in the fall, and hopefully things will fall into place to where, you know, it makes my professional transition a little bit easier. But Captain Port's been great with helping me, you know, get through this process, and I spoke with her a little bit about it. So, you know, I just have some great support around me, and I think it's going to be a great move for me.
And one last quick thought from Ellen, because I know she has to run. What is your strategy? And when I say strategy, you've already, I know, had experimented with a lot of different people and different roles on the team and what formats are going to be playing with whom. And certainly, you've got practice sessions coming up before the matches. How will those impact your decisions on who plays and what plays? And also, your thoughts on an order of play. Have you thought of that even with certain players, some play quicker, slower, that kind of thing?
Yeah, there are. Anybody who's been a captain of any of these teams, when you talk to them, I remember Corey Pavin saying he had thousands of lists of different combinations of players all over his house. I've thought from a gazillion different angles. I'm not going to really give you much of a good answer on that one, Skipper. I'm going to let my crew, Ashlyn and my 7 girls, I told them in the locker room, and I don't know if Ashlyn remembers this, I said, you girls don't really even need me. They know the game so well, they care for each other so well, they could pair themselves up and probably do a great job, but they're going to humor me and let me have a little bit of say. And we are going to pull together as a team, and everybody's going to be confident with who's playing together. And we'll, as you guys know, weird, strange things happen in golf. And I know captains who had this strong team. I know when Michelle Wee and Paul Kramer were playing, they thought they had these wonderful pairings, and they lost every match in the morning that they thought they were going to do, and so they totally mixed it up. I'm the queen of intuition. I love to go with my gut. I love to remain flexible. So hang on for a wild ride.
Well, it's going to be a great event, and as I turn it right back over to Jay, the first week in June, St. Louis Country Club, at this beautiful historic place, and there's going to be another historic chapter in the USGA and certainly in St. Louis golf. So, Jay, I've done my little 5-6 minutes. Who we got next, bud?
Well, I'll tell you what, Randy and I are going to talk a little about the Missouri Golf Network and what we're doing here with Missouri Golf Live. But thank you, Ellen, and thank you, Ashlyn. And Ashlyn, we look forward to seeing you at St. Louis Country Club. Skip, you don't go anywhere. We're going to get you roped in at the end. But Randy, this is the first opportunity we've had to promote the Missouri Golf Network, the different things you're doing, Missouri Golf Live. You got a lot of irons in the fire.
Well, I do, Jay, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys hosting this tonight. We're really excited. We had some technical difficulties. We were supposed to be at Algonquin, and right at the last minute, with about 15 minutes to go, we made an executive decision and found a Starbucks with a good cell signal, a Wi-Fi signal, and moved over here. So we had planned on talking a little bit with Scott Hovis from the MGA and talking about the four-ball tournament, the senior four-ball that they're just finishing up today, along with the Missouri Amateur that's coming up.
And it's going to be here in St. Louis.
Yes.
I know a lot of the St. Louis players, including the guy we just talked to, Skip Bertmeyer, are really excited. The last time the Missouri Amateur was in St. Louis, it was at Wing Haven. A lot of local guys really want to be a part of that. It was great to see the numbers that they had at the Missouri Senior Four Ball. It was one of the largest groupings that they've ever had out there at Algonquin. So you're very involved with the MGA.
Yes, we represent the MGA. We do their marketing under the umbrella of the Missouri Golf Network, and we take care of the Missouri Women's Golf Association. And then, of course, we've got the Missouri Golf Post that we do with Jim Bastian here in St. Louis. Then we've got our Missouri Golf Post, the mogolfpost.com website. We've got
you got a lot of websites.
We do. And then we've got our Missouri Golf Network radio show that'll be kicking off here right away with you as the host. So we're really excited. And you know, we're just our passion, our mission is to celebrate the people who play the game of golf in Missouri, and that's a lot of people. There's a lot of golf courses. And, you know, slowly but surely we're getting there, and we're getting some traction, and we're really excited about
Well,
it.
I know another thing that I think the state is excited about is the Champions Tour coming back to our state. You know, we've got the 2018 PGA Championship, right, but the seniors are going to be down in Branson.
Yeah, and we're going to be down there covering that, and, of course, you know, they call you the golf geek. I'm not sure. I might be a bigger golf geek, but they give me a media pass, and I put a camera on myself and go take a bunch of photos. So I'm really excited about that, and of course we'll be covering the Curtis Cup. There's a lot of golf.
That first week of June, and really the whole month of June with the Missouri Amateur in town, it's going to be a lot going on. And speaking of that first week in June, a prelude to the Curtis Cup is going to be the best junior golfers in America playing in St. Louis. As somebody who was lucky enough to play in AJGA events, I only dreamt of one being in St. Louis. But now we've got one, and somebody that's going to get to kind of live a dream of his own is a talented freshman at Chaminade High School. His name is Crimson Callahan, and we introduced him to you earlier. Crimson, are you there, my man?
Yes, sir.
I've known Crimson a long time, and I've seen his game progress. He's now competing in amateur tournaments along with the junior ranks. I know you won a satellite AJGA event at Kokopelli in Illinois, but knowing your involvement at the Bluffs, where the tournament's going to be hosted, a place where you've kind of grown up, I can't imagine what you're feeling. How excited are you for the AJGA at the Bluffs?
Well, I can't wait. It's going to be a great experience. Being able to play at my home course with everybody I know being there. I'm just lucky to have my dad and Ty work so hard and get the event there. It was a great opportunity.
Well, and let's bring in Ty Zimmerman, the head golf professional at the Missouri Bluffs Golf Club. One of the best designs, one of the most scenic golf courses in the state of Missouri. It's got that signature 15th, the par 5. Ty, I know this is not an easy undertaking. It's a big-time event. You guys work tirelessly on it. The golf course is going to be great for these young players. What does it mean to the Bluffs to have an AJGA event?
You know, Junior, it really means a lot to have this event at the Missouri Bluffs because when we first opened in 1995, we were able to host a Nike Tour event for a couple years, and now, excuse me, and now we've got this AJGA event. We're not looking at 1 year; we're looking at multiple years, and we're really looking at this one with it being our first one. We're very excited because the type of talent, the kids that are going to be coming in, boys and girls. But that first boy that's going to be a senior has a shot at getting in that 2018 PGA Championship at Belle Reeve. So there's going to be a lot of buzz about this event, and we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great test of golf.
No, Ty, you're right. It really is the future stars of the game. Did a show on the radio today, and Skip and I both said there will probably be a PGA Tour winner and an LPGA Tour winner in years to come, if not multiple, that are going to be in that field at the Missouri Bluffs. This question's for both of you, and we'll start off with Crimson. Crimson, I know you recently played in the U.S. Open local qualifying out at the Missouri Bluffs. How did you think it set up? I know you played really well for the first 11 or 12. I know that you didn't finish the way you wanted to, but do you think the golf course will play similar for the juniors as it did for the people trying to make it in the U.S. Open?
To be completely honest, yes. The way the course set up during the U.S. Open, it was in great shape. Greens were wonderful. Fairways were all nice. Rough was thick. But yes, I think it'll play very similar to how it did in the U.S. Open qualifier.
And Ty, not that it was a test run, but they changed, I know the par 5 first, a beautiful hole down the hill, to a par 4. They played it at a par 70. The Bluffs is what you'd call containment golf, which I think the average player likes because so many of the fairways are lead you back to the middle of the fairway. But that golf course played very tough that day. The best players in town, good pros, didn't eat that golf course up.
It's a sneaky golf course. You step up on it, and it's like, that the better players, you walk on, you're like, you should walk off 65, 66, and it'd be no problem at all. But you get done, it's like 71. How the heck did that happen? But there's plenty of trouble on that golf course, and you've got to hit it in positions. And if you get it out of position, you can make a large number very quickly.
And Ty, I know that there's still some opportunities for volunteers if they want to call the Missouri Bluffs to help out during the tournament dates for these tremendous junior golfers like Crimson that are going to be part of this great event, the first event. They could call you at the Missouri Bluffs?
Yes, they could call me or send me an email. You can go to mobluffs.com and go into the Contact Us tab and find my email address and email me through there. We are looking for volunteers for Sunday and Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And if anyone out there is available to join us and watch some good golf and help these junior players, we'd love to have you.
Crimson, before we move forward, because I've got one more question for Ty about the Missouri Bluffs. As you said, you've grown up on that golf course. Kind of describe to folks out there who haven't played the style of golf course it is. It's a big property, pretty big greens. Kind of give your take on the Missouri Bluffs.
Well, me being a left-hander, I think it sets up for me beautifully on every hole, even it's 13, a dogleg left. But overall, the stature of the course, it plays pretty short, but there are some tough holes out there. And like Teddy said, if you're not in the right position, you can definitely make some large numbers. But what I like to say, the best part about that course is definitely the fairways. But you got to be in the fairway to be able to make a birdie on that course.
Yeah, you have a good point there, especially around the greens where that rough can kind of sneak up on you. Ty, one of the things that you and your fellow PGA of America golf professionals are trying to do, and I think everybody in the game is to grow the game. There's a little buzz in town about a 4-hole rate that you guys have. You know, not everybody has 4.5, unfortunately sometimes 5 hours to play 18 holes. 9 can be 2 to 2:30. You guys have come up with a new concept. Explain the 4-hole rate.
Yeah, thanks, Judy. We with the 4-hole rate, being in the Missouri Research Park, we want to do something that can give those people in the Missouri Research Park and the community that's around us an opportunity to get better with their golf game. When it comes to that, as a teaching instructor, not just a person that sits behind a desk and looks at numbers all day, I do give lessons, but I like to see my student be able to hit some balls and practice, and also get out and play. And that's when you're going to really notice the changes. So, looking at the layout of the front 9, we were able to look at our first 4 holes, and you can be able to get a small bucket of balls and play the first 4 holes for $20. And it's probably got to be one of the best deals, and we call it a power hour. You can really play the first 4 holes and hit a small bucket in just about 60 minutes.
And instead of the 19th hole, then you head to the 5th hole. Right there at the Missouri Bluffs Golf Club. All right, before we get out of here, I do want to get one question from everybody that we've got left. And Randy, we'll start with you, since it is Mo Golf Live, and we've all teed it up in this state. And if you need to be, if you need to be impartial, I understand. Your favorite golf course in the state of Missouri, Randy?
Well, it's probably a toss-up between Payne Stewart and Portachima.
Okay, Payne Stewart and Portachima. Now, Skip Berkmeyer has won the Missouri Amateur 3 times, so he has definitely played some good golf in this state. Skipper, I'm curious, your favorite course in the state of Missouri?
That's a tough question for a lot of reasons, as you know, Jay. I would say probably the one I'm sitting at right here has got to be on that list. St. Louis Country Club is pretty darn special, and particularly with it's in the shape that it is right now. I would also throw a bone, and I would say, to 2 other clubs that don't get a lot of play, and that's Dalhousie and Cape, and also Boone Valley out in Augusta, Missouri, which is actually, they're the ones that held the last time the state amateur there in 2011, and they had a great turnout, and it was a great event. So those are my little spiel that I'll give you.
Also places Skip likes to play. Good plug, Skip.
Yes.
Crimson, is it the Bluffs? Is it Boone Valley? What's Crimson's favorite track in the state?
The Bluffs definitely rank right up there, but St. Albans definitely one of my favorite. Got some good friends out there, and definitely St. Albans. The Lewis and Clark is my favorite out of the 2.
All right, then I'm going to put the pressure on Ty, and I'm just going to do it this way. Ty, obviously the Missouri Bluffs is your favorite golf course in the state. What's your second favorite course?
The Missouri Bluffs is really my favorite golf course. When I moved down to the St. Louis area 11 years ago, it was the Missouri Bluffs. The views are just unbelievable. But I don't know if 2 other golf courses that hold more to my heart than anything, because I was able to qualify for a couple national assistants championships, but Old Warson, where I got my first one at, and then the second one, Westwood Country Club, where I worked for 5 years, and then moved on to my second assistant national championship. But above all, the Bluffs is my favorite place to play and practice, and you got to come.
No, it's a unique spot. It's one of my favorites. There's no doubt about it. So is Dalhousie, the #1 golf course in the state. But I want to be where Skip is, at St. Louis Country Club. I'm an old history person, and you know what? It's not too long. Daddy can still get it out in those fairways out there at St. Louis Country Club. For all the people behind the scenes at Missouri Golf Live, thank you, Chad, and all the different people that helped put this together. Randy, they really did a lot of work.
Oh, they really did. And Corbin, and I mean, JJ helped. There's a lot of people who've pitched in here. And then I just want to thank you guys, you and Skip, for being on here. And Ty, I know we had some challenges with internet speed, and he just hung right with us. Really, really happy with our first show.
Well, it was a fun night. They said it couldn't be done. We did it, and we'll do it again. Thank you so much for checking out Missouri Golf Live.